Beloved chosen one, heaven has paused everything around you for this moment. Listen. You are not here by accident. Your spirit has been summoned. Every storm you've faced, every betrayal you've endured, every tear that has fallen in the dark was never wasted. You have entered the hour where the divine reversal begins. What was meant to break you is breaking them. What was sent to destroy you is now building your throne. For too long, you've been misunderstood, mocked, and doubted. They thought your silence was weakness, but it was strategy. Heaven hid you to preserve you. Every delay was a setup for divine exposure. The very trap they designed for you, those whispers, manipulations, false accusations has turned into their own undoing. You are standing on holy ground. The very ground that once buried your confidence now blooms with resurrection power. They thought your tears were signs of defeat. They didn't realize tears water the soil of destiny. Every sleepless night was not abandonment, it was alignment. God saw it all. You were being shaped, purified, and marked. And now, the shift has begun. Heaven has moved. The same people who celebrated your fall will soon witness your elevation. Chosen one, hear me clearly, nothing they plotted can prosper. No tongue that rises against you in judgment will stand. You have been chosen as a living testimony of what divine justice looks like. There is a sound from heaven that shakes the plans of darkness. You may not see it yet, but your enemies are crying. The trap they built is closing on themselves. It is written in the book of Psalms, chapter 7, verse 15. He made a pit and dug it out, and has fallen into the ditch which he made. Do you feel that that's the sound of tables turning? Every false report, every mocking word, every shadow that tried to dim your light, it's being reversed. God is not only vindicating you, He's elevating you in front of those who buried you. The ones who once called you crazy will now call you chosen. This is not karma, it's kingdom law. God is restoring the balance. You were never behind. You were hidden in plain sight, preserved for a public victory. Even now, divine winds are blowing. They are whispering your name in rooms you've never entered. Doors are opening not because you forced them, but because heaven unlocked them. Chosen one, this is your moment to rise without apology. You are stepping into a season where you don't have to prove your worth, your presence will prove it for you. Every loss was an investment. Every rejection redirected you toward revelation. Every closed door protected you from contamination. Your enemies didn't realize that when they pushed you into isolation, they pushed you into incubation. What they called exile, God called preparation. The silence they mocked became the very space God used to sharpen your discernment. You learned to hear heaven in stillness, to find power in patience. You have matured beyond their traps. You are untouchable now, not because of pride, but because of purpose. Look at you still standing, still glowing, still chosen. Heaven has crowned your endurance. You are not who you were when this battle began. You carry the marks of one who wrestled with angels and lived. You carry wisdom born from warfare, peace born from pain, and a glow that darkness cannot dim. So let them talk, let them plot, let them gather in secret places. Heaven is still laughing. God has already decided your victory, and this time, your triumph will be loud. The very people who mocked you will have to watch the divine reversal unfold. They'll see the favor, the restoration, the open doors, and they won't be able to stop it. Chosen one, this message finds you for a reason. You are stepping into the divine hour where justice meets mercy and glory covers pain. This is not a coincidence, this is divine intervention. You are being lifted, you are being remembered, you are being restored. Now, listen carefully, don't let bitterness ruin your breakthrough. Forgive, but don't forget who you are. Keep your spirit pure, because your anointing depends on it. You are called to shine so brightly that even your enemies are forced to acknowledge your source. Lift your head high. Smile at the storm. It's proof that heaven still recognizes your worth. The trap backfired. The plot failed. The promise stands. You are the evidence that God never loses. If this message finds your spirit, pause and declare it. Like this, share this, and subscribe to stay connected to this prophetic flow, because what is coming next will require your full attention. And in the comments, write this prophetic number to seal your agreement with heaven's reversal: 777. Chosen one, while you were resting, heaven was working. You may have felt forgotten, overlooked, or abandoned, but the silence was never empty. In that stillness, God was waging invisible wars on your behalf. Every unseen battle fought in the spiritual realm was for your preservation. While you cried, angels moved. While you doubted, strategies unfolded. You were never alone, even in the moments that felt the darkest. You see, your enemies only saw the surface. They misread your pauses as weakness, your humility as surrender. But behind every quiet moment was a roaring God preparing to strike. He was protecting you from traps that your human eyes couldn't detect. You didn't need to defend yourself. Heaven already filed your defense before the accusation was even spoken. The unseen realm is real, and you have been the center of a divine conversation. There were days you didn't understand why the warfare felt so heavy, why people turned against you without reason, why peace seemed so far away. But heaven was allowing the darkness to expose itself. Every lie that was spoken against you carried a spiritual fingerprint. God allowed it because exposure precedes elevation. While they gathered to plan your downfall, angels stood in formation. You were covered. There were moments you thought you lost, but in truth, you were being protected by redirection. Heaven rerouted you around destruction. The reason some doors closed was not rejection, it was protection. Had you entered certain spaces, your light would have been suffocated by deceit. But now, in hindsight, you can see how divine timing saved you from unnecessary battles. You wondered why certain people left your life. You thought their absence meant you were hard to love. But no. Chosen one, it meant they were not qualified to witness your transformation. Some people were only assigned to your pain, not your promise. They would have contaminated your new season. God had to separate you so you could see who was truly for you. And while you were isolated, the fire refined you. Heaven stripped away the illusions that once blinded your discernment. What once broke you now builds you. The fear that once paralyzed you now fuels your faith. The rejection that once wounded you has become revelation. You have learned that peace is not the absence of chaos, but the mastery of it. You carry something rare, something that hell recognizes. That is why the attacks were so intense. Darkness always fights what it fears. Every season of pressure was proof of your value. The enemy only invests in battles that matter. But what he forgot is that the same pressure that tried to crush you has now made you unshakable. You don't bow easily anymore. You don't break at every disappointment. You've been trained in the fire, and your soul now glows with endurance. We find in the book of Isaiah, chapter 54, verse 17, "No weapon that is formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against you in judgment you shall condemn." Remember that, chosen one, nothing formed against you will ever reach its full intent. It might form, it might even frighten you, but it will never prosper. The same God who delivered you yesterday is still watching over you today. He never sleeps, never forgets, never abandons his own. You have walked through invisible wars and come out refined. That's why your peace feels heavier now. It's expensive. It was bought through battle. The calm you carry intimidates people who still live in chaos, because you remind them of what healing looks like. And that too is part of your warfare. Don't explain your peace to those who thrive in drama. Don't justify your stillness to those who misunderstand rest for weakness. You've learned how to move only when heaven moves. That is spiritual maturity. You've become synchronized with divine timing, and that alignment is what frustrates the plans of your enemies. Chosen one, breathe. The unseen battles are already won. The warfare that surrounded you is now collapsing under its own weight. Heaven fought for you, even when you didn't know it. You've survived storms that were designed to erase you, but instead of being erased, you've been engraved deeper into destiny. This is the season where you walk in quiet victory. You don't need to announce it, the evidence will speak. You are becoming the living proof that God defends His chosen ones. Your silence now carries authority. Heaven speaks through your calm. The same peace that protected you will guide you into rooms prepared only for the faithful. You survived the hidden war. Now you walk crowned with unseen glory. Every scar glows with divine proof God fought for you, and you have already won. Chosen one. The truth is being revealed. The trap they set for you was never about you. It was about exposing them. Heaven allowed their hands to dig deep, thinking they were building your downfall, but they were building their own pit. The moment they whispered your name in malice, they signed their own exposure. Every plan formed in darkness is now illuminated by divine light. You may remember those moments when rumors spread, when lies multiplied faster than you could defend yourself. You watched people you once loved turn into voices of accusation. You felt powerless, watching your name dragged through mud while your intentions remained pure. But in that silence, heaven was documenting everything. God doesn't just watch, He records. Every trap is a testimony in the making. They thought they were smart, strategic even, but heaven has a way of letting evil reveal itself. You were never the target. You were the test. Your endurance exposed the counterfeit hearts around you. While they planned to destroy your reputation, they revealed their own corruption. And now, as divine justice unfolds, you won't need to speak a word. The evidence will speak louder than your defense ever could, as was spoken in the sacred texts of old, in the book of Proverbs, chapter 26, verse 27. Whoever digs a pit will fall into it. If someone rolls a stone, it will roll back on them. The spiritual principle is simple but unstoppable. Whatever they meant for evil, heaven flips for good. The words they used as weapons have turned into keys that unlock your next chapter. Every attempt to humiliate you became an advertisement for your resilience. Even the silence you endured is now being turned into the sound of vindication. Chosen one, this season is revealing who was truly with you and who was simply near you. Proximity does not equal loyalty. God had to allow betrayal to separate imitation from authenticity. You were not being punished. You were being purified. You are too anointed to be surrounded by people who don't recognize your value. When you look back, you'll realize how divine the setup was. The timing, the people, even the pain, it all had to happen exactly as it did for the truth to surface. The same mouths that slandered you will now speak your restoration. The same voices that mocked your faith will now witness its fruit. The same atmosphere that once suffocated you will now serve you. Heaven doesn't just reverse outcomes, it rewrites narratives. The story they told about you is being edited by divine hands. Soon, your name will carry new weight, not the burden of accusation, but the fragrance of redemption. You won't have to clear your name. God is clearing it for you. Even now, The Spirit of truth is moving through every lie. Words that once wounded you are being stripped of their power. The very gossip that was meant to shame you will now lead others to repentance. You are the walking example of how God turns pain into prophecy. And as this reversal unfolds, peace will guard you like a crown. Don't seek revenge, seek revelation. Don't fight in the flesh when heaven already finished the battle in the spirit. You are stepping into a place where your stillness is your weapon. The ones who planned your fall are now learning that you cannot destroy what God defends. This is why the trap had to backfire. It was never meant to bury you. It was meant to prove you. Every storm clarified your strength. Every disappointment trained your discernment. Every betrayal positioned you for blessing. Now, chosen one, breathe and release it. What was meant to destroy you has only confirmed your divine immunity. Heaven fought for you, justice is unfolding, and your vindication will be public. Type "I hear you" in the comments. Let it be your declaration that your spirit recognizes this truth. You're not here by chance. You're here because the reversal has already begun. And this message found you right on time. When you comment "I hear you," you are not typing random words, you're responding to heaven's signal. It means your spirit is awake, aligned, and receptive to divine truth. It's your way of saying, "God, I'm listening. I recognize your voice even in the midst of confusion." Every time you write "I hear you," you establish a covenant between your obedience and God's instruction. It becomes a spiritual signature, your agreement with the reversal unfolding over your life. Those 3 words carry weight in the unseen realm. They tell darkness, "I am no longer asleep. I choose divine awareness." Chosen one, they celebrated too early. The laughter of your enemies echoed for a while, but heaven was only silent, never absent. They saw your moment of weakness and mistook it for finality. They didn't understand that what looked like the end was only a divine pause, a strategic intermission before the unveiling of glory. Heaven loves irony. God writes reversals that make both angels and demons stop and watch. In their arrogance, they believed the story was over. They took credit for your fall, gloried in your pain, and paraded your name in their circles as proof of your failure. But in reality, their celebration was the sound of their own countdown. Because when darkness rejoices prematurely, light always interrupts the party. What they didn't know is that resurrection doesn't begin with applause. It begins with silence, with stillness, with 3 days of seeming defeat. Chosen one. This is the mystery of divine timing. God allows certain endings to unfold so that his beginnings can carry undeniable power. Every false celebration around you was heaven's setup for divine exposure. They built a platform to humiliate you, and now that same stage will display your vindication. The voices that cheered your collapse will now witness your rise. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Micah. Chapter 7, verse 8. "Do not rejoice over me, my enemy. Though I have fallen, I will rise. Though I sit in darkness, the Lord will be my light." There is power in that declaration. Heaven always reserves the right to resurrect what the world has declared dead. You are walking proof of that principle. The hands that once pointed in accusation will soon point in awe. You are about to stand on the ashes of everything that tried to consume you, shining brighter than before. When God restores, he doesn't simply repair what was broken, he reveals why it was broken in the first place. The delay, the rejection, the betrayal, it all had purpose. Your tears watered the soil of transformation. What they thought was your breaking point became your birthing point. Every season of silence became an incubation for power. Think back to the days when hope seemed too heavy to hold. You whispered prayers that never seemed to echo back. You looked around and saw no sign of change. But now, look again. What felt like stillness was growth beneath the surface. The seed doesn't make noise when it breaks through the soil, but once it emerges, it changes everything around it. That's what's happening in your life right now. Your rise is not loud, but it is unstoppable. The enemy doesn't know what to do with quiet strength. You've stopped explaining yourself, stopped chasing validation, stopped defending what heaven already approved. That silence terrifies those who once controlled you through chaos. They cannot manipulate what no longer reacts. They thought you were gone. They thought your spirit was crushed. But the light they tried to bury is now bursting through the cracks of what they built. You are proof that divine reversals are not poetic, they are real. Every unseen force that celebrated your downfall is now trembling at the sound of your recovery. Heaven has declared that your time of humiliation is over. Chosen one, you are entering a new chapter, and this time you will not need to prove yourself. Your presence will speak, your peace will preach, your glow will testify. The same people who mocked you will now be speechless. The celebration that began over your fall will end with your restoration. There is a holy confidence rising within you. It's not pride, it's awareness. You finally know who you are. You finally recognize what you carry. You finally understand that your silence was not defeat, it was sacred preparation. Heaven uses pauses to create power, and you are walking proof of that divine law. Let them wonder, let them whisper, let them try to make sense of your recovery. They cannot explain what they did not create. They cannot destroy what they did not assign. You were always meant to rise, even when it looked impossible. You were designed to make darkness regret its confidence. Chosen one, their celebration was premature. The trap failed. The laughter has turned into silence, and that silence is the sound of fear, because now they realize heaven has moved in your favor. The tables have turned completely, and what was meant to bury you has become the very ground of your awakening. Your resurrection is confusing them. The silence of heaven has become thunder against their arrogance. Every hidden plot dissolves, leaving only the proof of divine protection. You rise untouched, radiant, unexplainable. The laughter that mocked you now fades beneath your victory. Heaven's justice is visible, and your endurance has become your crown. Chosen one, the tables are not only turning, they are shaking. Thrones that were built on deceit are trembling because heaven is rearranging authority. You can feel it in the atmosphere. Something powerful, something irreversible is happening. The very ground that once rejected you now recognizes you. What was once denial has become destiny. The stones thrown at you are turning into stepping stones. You see, when heaven decides to elevate someone, no human hand can interfere. This is what is unfolding right now. You are not climbing by chance, you are being lifted by decree. Divine authority is calling you higher, not just in position, but in perception. Your view is changing. What once intimidated you now looks small beneath your feet. This is the beauty of divine reversal. Those who stood above you are now looking up to you. But be careful. Chosen one, this is the moment where humility becomes your crown. Power without purity is poison. So, as heaven lifts you, keep your heart soft, your spirit teachable, and your gratitude alive. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew chapter 23, verse 12, "For whoever exalts himself will be humbled, and whoever humbles himself will be exalted." That verse is the heartbeat of your elevation. You were humbled not to humiliate you, but to prepare you. Heaven had to teach you how to handle blessing without pride. You learned how to lead through servanthood, how to influence through integrity, and how to shine without shadowing others. That's why you are trusted with this level of glory now. Chosen one. When God restores, He doesn't simply repair what was broken, He reveals why it was broken in the first place. The delay, the rejection, the betrayal, it all had purpose. Your tears watered the soil of transformation. What they thought was your breaking point became your birthing point. Every season of silence became an incubation for power. Think back to those nights when you felt forgotten. Yet every unseen moment was adding another page to your testimony. Now that you stand, the world will wonder how you rose without bitterness. And you will know it was grace. Pure and unearned grace. And if this message touches your spirit, tap the light that looks like a flame. That like is not a button, it's a spark. When you share, you are sending that spark across oceans, letting another soul feel the warmth of awakening. When you subscribe, you're not joining a channel, you're anchoring yourself to a current of light that refuses to be silenced. You see, every small act keeps this river of truth flowing. To those who feel led to give, remember, donation is not obligation, it is participation. Picture it as pouring a drop of oil into a lamp that refuses to go out. Each drop keeps the flame alive for someone still walking through the night. Your giving is not a transaction, it's a ripple. It says, I want this light to reach another chosen one who's still fighting unseen battles. Whether your gift is a prayer, a word, or a small offering, heaven sees the heart behind it. You're not buying a blessing, you're joining a blessing in motion. If you feel moved, give because your spirit stirs, not because anyone told you to. Give because gratitude overflows and you understand what it means to keep the lamp burning. Your generosity becomes a bridge of light, carrying truth into shadows that haven't yet seen the dawn. And if this is not your moment to give, your listening heart is already a contribution. Stay, absorb, and let your presence be the yes that keeps this message alive. Chosen one, heaven multiplies whatever flows through pure hands. Every act of support, every like, every share, every seed becomes a prayer in motion. And in return, heaven pours back peace, clarity, and divine provision in ways no algorithm could measure. No, let your support be worship, not duty. Let your generosity be melody, not transaction. For you are part of something sacred, a movement of chosen hearts carrying light across a darkened world. Like to keep the flame alive, share to spread the fire, subscribe to stay under the overflow. And if your heart stirs to give, let your oil join ours in keeping this lamp burning bright. When you like, share, subscribe, or give, you're not fueling content, you're fueling transformation. Every act becomes a whisper to heaven. Keep the fire burning, keep awakening hearts. Your light joins ours, forming a constellation of faith across the earth. Together, we keep this lamp glowing, guiding the weary toward divine remembrance and renewed hope. Chosen one, your tears were never wasted. Each drop fell into the soil of eternity. And now that soil is beginning to bloom, the world saw your pain, but heaven saw your offering. Every heartbreak, every sleepless night, every silent cry became a seed planted in sacred ground. What was buried in grief is now sprouting in glory. They thought your tears were weakness, but heaven recorded them as evidence. Each one testified that you still believed, even when believing hurt. Every sigh you released in exhaustion was translated in heaven as prayer. And now, the courtroom of heaven has declared enough. Your pain has spoken loudly enough, now your harvest begins. You are entering a season where justice flows like rain. The things that didn't make sense are starting to align. The people who broke you are being confronted by conviction. Heaven is balancing the scales, and divine order is being restored. Every injustice has a record, and the time for repayment has come. It is found in the book of Psalms, chapter 56. Verse 8, "You keep track of all my sorrows. You have collected all my tears in your bottle. You have recorded each one in your book. Chosen one, your tears built a case in heaven stronger than any word you could have spoken. That's why the silence you endured carried such power. It wasn't that heaven ignored you. It was that heaven was gathering evidence. Every hidden wound was becoming a weapon of testimony. You didn't even know you were standing in court while you cried in the dark. Now, judgment is being released not to destroy, but to restore. Every season of sorrow has a return, and heaven pays with interest. The hands that hurt you will now see what happens when God defends His own. You don't need to lift a finger. Your obedience already signed the verdict. Chosen one. Your tears have built altars that cannot be torn down. They speak louder than the lies, the betrayal, and the rejection, and the fragrance of those tears is reaching heaven even now, commanding release, commanding breakthrough, commanding recompense. You thought you were breaking, but you were birthing. You were never weak for feeling deeply. Sensitivity is not fragility, it's divine antenna. The reason you feel so much is because heaven trusts you with burden. You sense what others ignore. You intercede without even realizing it. You are not emotional, you are prophetic. That's why darkness tried to desensitize you, to harden your heart, to convince you that caring was foolish. But heaven kept you soft for a reason. A soft heart is stronger than armor when God fills it with fire. And that is what's happening now. Your tears are being turned into flame. The same eyes that wept in disappointment will now see deliverance. The same heart that felt shattered will now overflow with peace. God is rewriting your emotional history, redeeming the moments that felt like punishment. The story of your pain is becoming a psalm of praise. You will no longer cry out of sorrow, you will cry out of awe. You will weep again, but this time because you will see how carefully God was weaving your destiny through every detour. You'll understand why you had to be broken to hold the blessing correctly when it came. Chosen one. This message reaches you because the season of tears is closing. You have mourned long enough. Now it is time to dance in restoration. The soil watered by sorrow is producing miracles. And as a prophetic act of agreement with heaven's restoration, comment the number 888 below. It is not a charm, it is a symbol of new beginnings, of cycles completed and abundance released. When you write that number, you're not performing a ritual, you're declaring alignment. You're saying, I receive the restoration my tears have prepared. Type 888 as a testimony that your crying season has ended and your harvest has begun. Heaven hears that number as faith in motion. It's your way of saying, I am ready for what my pain planted. Chosen one, your tears have spoken long enough. Now let your joy speak louder. The bottle that once caught your sorrow is being poured out as oil. And as that oil flows, everything connected to you will feel the fragrance of redemption. The trap failed, the pain has purpose, and your tears have built a bridge straight into your breakthrough. It's time to cross. When you comment 8888, you're not typing digits, you're planting prophecy. It's your silent declaration that the season of pain has finished, and divine abundance begins. Each 888 echoes through heaven's courts as agreement with restoration. It says, my tears are no longer currency of sorrow, they're seeds of miracles now ready to bloom. Chosen one, do you feel it, the laughter of heaven? It isn't cruel, it's the sound of divine confidence. When God laughs, it means the enemy's plans have officially failed. The same way thunder follows lightning, divine laughter follows divine strategy. What was meant to destroy you has already become the reason for your promotion. You've reached the part of your story where heaven's humor unfolds. The darkness that gathered so confidently now trembles because it realizes that it never had control. Every trap, every weapon, every whisper that once seemed threatening now looks foolish under the light of truth. What the enemy didn't understand was this: God is never surprised. You may have been caught off guard, but heaven never was. The trap that seemed so clever was already accounted for in the design of your destiny. Every move they made was being countered by unseen hands. That's why it backfired. That's why you survived. The laughter of God isn't just amusement, it's authority. When He laughs, the plans of the wicked dissolve like smoke in the wind. The Word of God declares in the book of Psalms, chapter 2, verse 4, "The one enthroned in heaven laughs, the Lord scoffs at them." That laughter is echoing now. You may not hear it with your ears, but your spirit feels it, a vibration of victory, a frequency of finality. God has declared the end from the beginning, and the enemy is only now realizing it was never in control. The moment it celebrated your downfall, heaven smiled, because the script was already written otherwise. Chosen one, this is why peace is returning to you, not because the battle ended, but because heaven won. You are walking in a field of finished fights. The anxiety that tried to paralyze you can no longer find a home in your chest. Your spirit knows what your eyes cannot yet see. It is done. You were not created to live in reaction to the darkness. You were created to live in rhythm with heaven's laughter. That sound carries freedom. It breaks tension, dismantles fear, and restores faith. It's the divine reminder that no evil scheme can rewrite your divine assignment. Do you remember the seasons when fear spoke louder than faith? When you worried about outcomes, timelines, and betrayals? Now look at you, still standing, still chosen, still crowned. That's why heaven laughs. Because even when you doubted, your faith never truly left. It was hidden beneath exhaustion, waiting for a moment of revival. And that moment is now. The laughter of God doesn't mock your pain, it redeems it. It turns chaos into choreography. Every event, every delay, every detour is revealed as part of a pattern too intricate to be human. That's why you can rest now. You no longer have to control the outcome. Heaven already settled it. Chosen one. The joy that's coming is not shallow happiness, it's deep, holy laughter. It's the kind that bubbles up unexpectedly, breaking through grief and fear like sunlight through clouds. It's the sound of relief when you realize you never had to fight alone. It's the kind of laughter that releases chains, heals the heart, and confuses the enemy. You are entering a season where your smile will be your testimony. Those who once pitied you will wonder where your glow comes from. They'll see it in your eyes, the peace that surpasses understanding, the joy that has no logical source. That is what divine laughter looks like when it manifests in human form. So don't suppress your joy out of humility. Let it overflow. Your laughter is not arrogance, it's evidence. It declares that heaven's promises have prevailed. It speaks of battles fought in silence and victories written in eternity. Every time you laugh again, you echo the sound of God's triumph, of chosen one. This new laughter will heal what tears once couldn't. It will open doors that effort could not. It will draw favor that striving never achieved. You are stepping into days of divine delight, where blessings chase you down, not because you demanded them, but because you endured long enough to receive them. Let the laughter rise, even if it feels strange after so much pain. That sound is proof of recovery. It tells the universe, the storm did not win. It announces that what the enemy tried to use against you has become your crown. Heaven laughs, and so should you. Not because everything is perfect, but because everything is purposed. Every scar now glows, every loss now teaches, and every closed door now points to better ones waiting to open. Chosen one, peace returns as laughter. Let it fill your atmosphere until the shadows scatter and joy reigns again. The war is over, and the victory has a melody, God's laughter, ringing softly through your soul. Chosen one, there is something sacred about the realization that you were never the victim, you were the weapon. You were never simply being attacked, you were being positioned. Heaven used your presence to reveal hidden corruption, to draw out deceit that would have remained concealed if you had not walked into the room. You were the bait that exposed betrayal, the light that forced darkness to reveal itself. It was never random. Every encounter, every disappointment, every unexpected betrayal was part of a divine setup. Heaven knew that when you stepped into certain spaces, your light would irritate the spirits that hid comfortably in shadows. They thought you were naive, unaware, too pure to survive among their deception. What they didn't realize was that heaven sent you precisely for that reason, to disturb what was hidden, to make the unseen visible. When you entered the room, secrets started unraveling, conversations shifted, masks cracked. People who once seemed confident began to lose composure. You thought you were the one being tested, but it was them all along. God was using you as a mirror to reflect what was truly inside their hearts. That's why some couldn't stand to be near you anymore. It wasn't your fault, it was your anointing. The apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, 2nd book, chapter 4. Verse 6. For God, who said, "Let light shine out of darkness," made his light shine in our hearts to give us the knowledge of the glory of God in the face of Christ. That light within you is not fragile, it's fierce. It doesn't only comfort, it confronts. And that's why people reacted to you the way they did. Your spirit irritated the spirits that thrived in pretense. They smiled at you but secretly feared what you carried, because your presence alone began to undo their deception. You didn't have to speak. Your authenticity was the alarm clock that woke their conscience. Chosen one, you were never fighting people, you were exposing patterns. You were never losing relationships, you were clearing altars. When heaven assigns you to be a vessel of truth, your life becomes a sieve through which falsehood cannot survive. That's why certain connections ended abruptly. Heaven was cleaning your circle, not punishing your heart. You might have wondered, why does my presence make others uncomfortable? Now you know it's not discomfort, it's conviction. People see in you what they tried to bury in themselves. You remind them of what they could have been if they had chosen obedience. You are the living evidence that purity still has power. This calling is not easy. Being the trap that reveals corruption means you often stand alone. But even loneliness has purpose. It creates space for discernment. In solitude, you began to recognize the difference between noise and truth, attention and alignment, applause and approval. What once hurt you now instructs you. You no longer beg for understanding. You observe in peace. You have learned to let God vindicate without your interference. You've seen how quickly falsehood collapses when confronted with truth. That's why heaven trusted you to walk through betrayal. You could handle exposure without bitterness. You could see the plan without becoming part of the problem. When that's spiritual maturity. Chosen one, you are not just surviving what they planned, you are revealing what they are. Your presence exposes what words cannot. You have become the evidence of divine reality in a world addicted to illusion. And though this role feels heavy, it is holy. The light in you has a purpose beyond personal victory. It transforms atmospheres. When you enter a space, you don't just belong there, you redefine it. You shift the spiritual temperature without even trying. You make demons restless and angels attentive. That's what it means to carry divine assignment. So stop apologizing for being too intense, too intuitive, too discerning. You are not too much. You are exactly enough for what heaven is doing. You were never designed to blend in, you were born to reveal. That's why the warfare was so specific, so strategic. The enemy was trying to silence the alarm before it went off. But it's too late now. You've already sounded the call. Chosen one. Understand this, your life has become a stage where heaven demonstrates that truth always wins. You may look ordinary, but your existence is prophetic proof that light cannot lose. Every time you stand back up after betrayal, you expose a lie about defeat. Every time you choose forgiveness over revenge, you dismantle the agenda of darkness. You are heaven's favorite strategy disguised as a human life. So hold your head high, not out of pride, but out of purpose. The revelation has unfolded. You were never the target. You were the tool. The trap was never for you. It was for what was hiding around you. And now that truth has surfaced. The stage is being cleared for your next assignment. The battle has revealed your brilliance. The exposure has revealed your elevation. You are both the evidence and the instrument of divine justice. The light that once made others uneasy now shines as proof that God's hand is unmistakably upon you. Chosen one, divine justice never misses. What they did to you is now happening to them, but multiplied, mirrored, and magnified. The same words they used to wound you are now echoing in their own ears. The same traps they laid are now snapping shut on their own plans. This is not revenge. This is divine reciprocity. Heaven has a way of reflecting every deed back to its source. You may not see it with your eyes, but your spirit knows something has shifted. The atmosphere feels lighter because burdens have been transferred. What once pressed against you has been reversed. The energy of deception always boomerangs. It cannot sustain itself in the presence of truth. When you were silent, they mistook it for surrender. When you walked away, they called it weakness. But heaven calls it wisdom. You refused to fight flesh with flesh, and that restraint positioned you for divine intervention. Now your vindication is visible not because you demanded it, but because God decided it was time. According to what is revealed in the book of Galatians, chapter 6, verse 7. Do not be deceived, God cannot be mocked. A man reaps what he sows. Chosen one. That law is not poetic, it is absolute. Heaven watches every word spoken, every motive hidden, every act done in secret. And now, as the mirror turns, every false accusation is being met with reflection. The same hands that pointed at you are now exposed by the very light they denied. This is why you must stay at peace. Let God finish what He started. The same trap that backfired has begun a chain reaction of truth. You are witnessing spiritual cause and effect, divine justice unfolding in real time. Those who wished you harm are now confronting their own echoes. Don't gloat. Don't rejoice at their pain. That is not your posture. You are called higher. Compassion in victory is the sign of maturity. Pray for them even as their own actions confront them. Because when you show mercy, heaven increases your favor. Still, know this clearly, heaven defends its own. You were not weak for staying silent. You were wise. You were not ignored. You were reserved. Every lie told about you now carries its own consequence, and you didn't have to say a word. The truth is doing the talking for you. Chosen one, you've learned something sacred. Time reveals everything. Lies are loud but temporary. Truth is quiet but eternal. And now, truth is rising from the ashes of your pain. You are walking in justice that no human hand could orchestrate. It's not luck, it's law, spiritual law. Heaven's mirror doesn't lie. The reflection is perfect. For every word spoken against you, heaven speaks restoration. For every betrayal, a blessing returns. For every hidden plot, a divine surprise unfolds. You are walking through divine symmetry, the holy balance of cause and consequence. So when you hear that their plans failed, don't boast, simply nod and whisper, God is just. That is enough. Your vindication isn't loud, it's luminous. It glows quietly, impossible to ignore, undeniable even to those who tried to dim it. This is your era of reflection. What you sowed in tears, you are now reaping in light. What they sowed in deceit, they are now reaping in disorder. That's why you must keep your peace. It's your crown. Heaven is teaching you that revenge is unnecessary when reflection is inevitable. Your enemies are learning that lesson now. They're confronting the very energy they released. They're realizing too late that you were never fighting them, you were reflecting them. The mirror doesn't lie, and it never breaks when God holds it. Chosen one, let your spirit rest. Justice has hands. It reaches without your effort and moves without your command. Every imbalance is being corrected, every false word being reversed. The same people who once mocked your faith will soon respect it. Stay humble, stay radiant, stay still. This is divine order unfolding before your eyes. You are not merely surviving the backlash, you're watching the law of heaven in motion. What they sowed in shadow is now returning in daylight. Type "so it is" in the comments, not as judgment, but as agreement with heaven's justice. Let it be your quiet declaration that you trust the divine mirror to do its work. No bitterness, no vengeance, only truth, reflected perfectly. When you comment "so it is," you're not wishing harm, you're sealing peace. Down those 3 words mean, I trust divine law to balance what I cannot fix by force. Each. So it is becomes a quiet agreement with heaven's justice. It says, I release control, I release anger, and I allow truth to finish what it started. Chosen one, you are rising from the dust that once tried to bury you. There's a quiet majesty in your steps now, a rhythm that tells heaven's story through you. You don't need to announce your comeback. Your presence does it. The air around you feels different because you have changed. You are no longer the wounded one, you are the witness of what God can do with broken pieces. Your scars have become signatures of survival. Where pain once pulsed, peace now glows. Every scar tells a truth that even in the storm, grace found you. That is why darkness fears you now, not because you are loud, but because you carry light that cannot be imitated. The glow you wear is not bought, it's born through endurance. Chosen one, heaven has marked you as one of the risen ones. You are no longer in hiding, you are stepping into divine visibility. What used to be closed to you is now opening effortlessly. You are walking through doors that others knocked on for years without response. That's the difference between striving and being sent. You are not forcing anything, heaven is simply recognizing its own within you. It is written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 1, Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. The weight of that verse rests on you now. You were never meant to stay low, even when you were crawling through confusion. Heaven saw a warrior learning to fly. And now, the wings that once trembled are stretching wide. You are soaring not to prove them wrong, but to prove God right. Your rise is not just personal, it's prophetic. Every person who watches you recover begins to believe again. You are the evidence that God restores, that faith resurrects, that purpose never expires. Your life has become a message, a living sermon written without words. Chosen one, every time you breathe out gratitude, heaven writes it as a hymn. Every time you choose peace over pride, angels record it as victory. Your consistency is your offering. Your patience is your worship. The way you continue shining, even when it costs you, is a sermon more powerful than any speech. And if this message touches you, tap the heart that glows like fire. Let that like be your amen. When you share, imagine you're passing a torch to another soul still sitting in the dark. Someone, somewhere, needs the light you carry. When you subscribe, it's more than a button, it's your way of saying, I want to stay in this river of truth. You're joining a current that keeps flowing, carrying reminders of hope across countless shores. And if ever your heart feels moved to donate, let it be gentle, not pressured. Think of it as planting a seed in soil that already blooms. Every drop of generosity becomes a ripple that touches unseen hearts. You're not paying for a message, you're participating in its journey. Your kindness keeps the lamp burning, keeps the microphone alive, keeps the voice echoing for others who cannot find theirs yet. Your giving is a whisper that says, keep the flame alive. And heaven always hears that whisper. It doesn't measure the size of your gift, it measures the sincerity of your heart. If you can't give, your presence is already precious. Your listening spirit, your silent agreement, your prayer, all of it builds the house of light we are creating together. This isn't about obligation, it's about overflow. It's about giving because gratitude has nowhere else to go but outward. Chosen one, generosity is not loss, it's multiplication. When you pour from your cup, heaven refills it with overflow. Every act of kindness is a seed that grows into protection, peace, and provision. Your support, be it a like, a share, a word, or a seed, becomes light woven into this tapestry of truth. And if you feel called to give, let it be your love letter to heaven. Let it say, I want to keep this message alive for someone who still thinks they're forgotten. Because none of this is about one person, it's about the movement of the chosen rising together. When you support, you're not fueling content, you're fueling connection. You're building a bridge for someone's hope to cross. You're saying yes to being part of something eternal. And heaven smiles on that kind of yes, it echoes louder than any applause. Chosen one, you are proof that miracles multiply when gratitude moves. Your rising light now joins countless others, each one a spark in the vast constellation of faith. So like if you feel the warmth, share if you believe the message. Subscribe to stay connected to the river, and if your heart stirs, let your gift become oil for this lamp. Because together, we keep the flame burning for you, for them, for all the chosen rising into glory. Chosen one, there is a divine rhythm to restitution, slow, deliberate, and unstoppable. Everything that was taken from you, every opportunity that slipped through your fingers, every piece of yourself you thought you lost, it is all finding its way back. But it's not coming back as it was. It's returning multiplied, refined, and radiant. Heaven never returns what was stolen without interest. You are walking into the season where the unseen promises start to take shape. The waiting is ending, and the restoring has begun. Every hidden thing is being revealed, and every stolen thing is being released. The timing is perfect. The clock of heaven never ticks too soon or too late. You thought you were forgotten, but in truth, heaven was preparing the stage for your unveiling. There were seasons where you gave without return, where your love was met with indifference, where your faithfulness was misused. You poured out and received emptiness in exchange, but none of that went unnoticed. Heaven was recording it all, and now the record has reached its moment of release. The law of divine balance demands that what was lost must return, and this time, it carries divine fingerprints. Heaven speaks clearly through the book of Joel. Chapter 2, verse 25. I will restore to you the years that the locust has eaten, the great locust, the young locust, and the other locusts, my great army which I sent among you. Those words are not ancient promises, they are current realities for you. Every wasted year, every stolen opportunity, every broken dream, they are all under restoration. Even the time you think you lost is being redeemed. God can make a single day restore a decade's worth of damage. You are entering the season of divine acceleration, where restoration does not crawl, it runs. Chosen one. Do you feel that stirring within you, that quiet excitement that doesn't make sense yet? That's the sound of what's been hidden beginning to emerge. Things that were once delayed are now aligning. People who once rejected you will find themselves drawn back not to harm, but to witness. They will see what heaven has done and know it could only be divine. The revelation of restitution is this: God doesn't just give back what was taken. He gives back what you could have become during the loss. That means you're not merely receiving possessions, you're regaining purpose, clarity, and time. Heaven redeems in layers, not just in numbers. Look around you, signs of restoration are already appearing. The heaviness that used to weigh on your chest is lifting. The confusion that clouded your thoughts is fading. Ideas, dreams, and strength you thought were gone forever are quietly returning. You're being rebuilt from the inside out, and this time, the foundation is unshakable because it's built on revelation, not reaction. Chosen one, do not fear the unfamiliarity of new blessings. You are growing into spaces that once intimidated you. The version of you that suffered is not the one being restored. A wiser, stronger, and purer version is emerging. That's why some things feel new. You've never lived at this altitude before. There will be people who don't recognize you anymore, and that's okay. You've been transformed beyond their memory. They're looking for the old you, the one who apologized for existing, who tolerated manipulation, who dimmed their light to make others comfortable. That version no longer exists. You have been reborn through revelation. Restitution doesn't mean returning to where you were, it means rising to where you belong. Heaven isn't leading you backward, it's elevating you forward. Every lesson learned in pain becomes a stepping stone to purpose. Every tear that fell becomes oil for your new anointing. The very places of loss will soon become landmarks of testimony. Chosen one, the uncovering has begun too. Secrets once hidden are being exposed, not to harm but to heal. Truth is surfacing, revealing why certain doors had to stay closed. What seemed like rejection was actually protection from contaminated blessings. Heaven is showing you the full picture now. Rest easy in this truth. Restoration is not revenge, it's redemption. You don't have to watch others fall to feel fulfilled. Your elevation itself is enough evidence that God is real. The best part, you won't have to chase what's returning. It will find you because it carries your name. Chosen one, stand still and watch. Everything owed to you, peace, clarity, favor, relationships, opportunities, is on its way home. The hand that once took from you will have no choice but to release. Heaven's decree has gone forth, and no force can stop it now. This is the moment where what was whispered in prayer becomes visible in reality. The empty spaces in your life are filling again, not with replacements, but with divine originals. The season of scarcity is closing, and the season of restoration is unfolding right before your eyes. Chosen one, the season of reversal is reaching its fullness. The cycle that once brought loss is now bringing life. Everything that was against you is being rewritten in your favor. You are stepping into the completion of divine restoration, where the first shall be last, and the last shall now stand first. This is not coincidence, it is confirmation. What you are feeling right now, the subtle calm, the sense of readiness, is the signal that the turnaround is no longer coming, it has arrived. Heaven has declared that your story will not end in struggle but in shining. Every closed chapter has given way to an open door, and that door bears your name. You are walking through thresholds that were once locked tight. You are seeing faces that once turned away, now turning toward you in awe. The same people who questioned your worth will soon question their own perception. The reversal has come full circle, and heaven is ensuring that everyone who witnessed your fall will also witness your rise. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 30, verse 17. "But I will restore you to health and heal your wounds, declares the Lord, because you are called an outcast, Zion for whom no one cares. Chosen one," that verse carries your name within it. You are no longer the outcast. You are the one heaven calls home. You are no longer the forgotten, you are the favored. What once marked you as rejected now identifies you as redeemed. The labels others placed on you have been torn off, replaced with the seal of divine ownership. This reversal is more than a change of circumstances. It is a reordering of your identity. Heaven is not just giving you what you lost, it's giving you back who you are. The battles that once drained your energy have become testimonies that refill your spirit. The places that once saw your tears will soon witness your laughter. Everything in your life is shifting alignment. Relationships are being rearranged. Finances are being restructured. Purpose is being reignited. You are not just recovering, you are recalibrating to heaven's original design. Even the way you think is being refined. You no longer move from fear but from faith. Chosen one, there is a reason this message has found you right now. Heaven is calling you to acknowledge the completion of this reversal. It is not halfway done, it is finished. The waiting season has served its purpose. The storm you endured was the process that purified your power. Now, the wind is changing direction. The same wind that once resisted you is now carrying you forward. You no longer move against the current, you move with it. Grace is your wind now. You don't have to strive, you just have to flow. But to seal this divine reversal, heaven invites you to make a prophetic declaration, a simple act of agreement between your faith and your future. Comment the number 555 below. This number carries a divine resonance. It symbolizes grace upon grace, change upon change, and completion of divine cycles. When you write 555, you are saying to heaven, I recognize the shift. I accept the new. I am ready for what has been promised. It's not superstition, it's symbolism. Heaven understands language, but it also responds to faith. That comment becomes your echo of belief, your digital amen in the river of prophecy. Chosen one. Every time someone types 555, it's as if heaven marks their name on a list of completed miracles. It's a quiet but powerful act, a way of saying, I'm in agreement with what heaven is doing. So when you feel that pull in your spirit, respond. Not from pressure, but from peace. Because this is not about performing, it's about partnering. You are saying yes to your new chapter. Yes to divine reversal. Yes to the glory written with your name on it. Chosen one. This is the completion moment. The storm that started the story cannot end it. The same tears that watered the soil are now calling forth the harvest. You've waited long enough, now the promise stands before you, fully formed, fully yours. Write 555 below. Not as repetition, but as revelation. The season has turned. The balance has shifted, and the divine reversal is complete. When you comment 555, you're not typing digits, you're declaring divine completion. It's your spiritual signature saying, I receive the shift, I welcome the change, and I step boldly into grace multiplied over my life. Each 555 becomes a prophetic echo, whispering through heaven's corridors. This chapter is sealed in favor. It's your peaceful confirmation that cycles have closed, wounds have healed, and your story now unfolds under the fullness of divine restoration. Chosen one, when you look around now, the evidence of divine fingerprints is everywhere. Nothing that's unfolding is random. Every turn, every pause, every silence, every sudden acceleration, it all carries heaven's signature. The story of your life is no longer defined by what was done to you, but by what God is doing through you. There were days when you begged for explanations, when the weight of confusion made faith feel like labor. You wanted answers, timelines, assurances, but heaven was quiet, not out of indifference, but because silence often guards the sacred. You were being led through a process too delicate for words, a plan too holy to be revealed too soon. Now, as the dust settles, you can see it, the pattern that was hidden in pain. Nothing was wasted. The things that broke you were also the things that built you. The betrayals that emptied your hands made room for better blessings. The delays that frustrated you were detours away from danger. Every fragment of your past has found its purpose in your present. The word of the Lord speaks through the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 28. And we know that all things work together for good to those who love God, to those who are called according to His purpose. Chosen one. That is not just a comforting verse, it is the spiritual equation governing your life. All things, the good, the bad, the forgotten, the painful. Everything you've endured has been calculated into your destiny. There was never a moment where God lost control. Even in chaos, heaven was composing a masterpiece. You are now standing in that masterpiece, still wet with divine paint. Every color has meaning, even the darker shades. They represent the nights when you almost gave up, yet didn't. They remind you that beauty often emerges from brokenness. Heaven does not erase your scars, it repurposes them into brushstrokes of strength. Chosen one, can you see how even your missteps were redirected into miracles? The people who left you made space for those meant to lift you. The doors that shut forced you to discover new ones hidden behind obedience. You learned that loss is not always the enemy. It can be the instructor that teaches you value. You used to question why God allowed certain things to fall apart. But now you understand some things must collapse so that truth can stand. You can't build divine destiny on false foundations. That's why exposure had to happen. Why isolation became your teacher. Why surrender became your saving grace. Heaven's fingerprints are all over the fallout. Even in the things that seemed like mistakes, you'll find divine intention written in invisible ink. You see it now, how one encounter led to another, how one heartbreak led to clarity, how every ending disguised a beginning. Chosen one. The evidence of God's hand is not only in what He gave, but also in what He took away. Some blessings are additions, others are subtraction, but both are protection. The things you lost would have limited your future. The people who left would have diluted your purpose. Heaven was never punishing you, it was pruning you for greater fruit. And look at the fruit now. You think differently, speak differently, move differently. There is calm in your confidence and softness in your strength. You no longer seek validation, you carry confirmation. Every step you take feels synchronized with something larger than you. That's because heaven has aligned your steps with destiny's rhythm. Chosen one, there's something deeply humbling about realizing that the pain was the path. You don't resent it anymore. You don't crave revenge or rehearse your wounds. You've become a living sanctuary of peace. The same fire that once burned you now lights your way. You have matured into purpose, and purpose looks good on you. The divine fingerprints are not just on your blessings, they're on your perspective. You've learned to see differently. You don't panic when things fall apart anymore. You pause and look for the pattern. You don't question every silence. You trust the stillness. You've developed divine vision, the ability to recognize grace even in grief. Chosen one, this is your revelation season. You're no longer guessing what God is doing, you're recognizing it in real time. And when recognition replaces confusion, peace settles permanently. You are walking proof that heaven leaves evidence, that the hand of God is never absent even when unseen. So breathe deeply. The fingerprints of heaven are on your story, your timing, your transformation. You don't have to understand everything. You only need to trust that you were never untouched by grace. Every mark of pain has turned into a mark of purpose. Chosen one, the same hand that allowed the breaking is the hand that is now blessing. The divine fingerprints on your life will remain visible forever, not as reminders of pain, but as proof of providence. Chosen one, there comes a moment when the journey shifts from battle to balance. You are standing in that moment now. The chaos has quieted, the wounds have healed, and the air around you no longer feels heavy. You've stepped beyond the valley, and your feet now touch the ground of peace. It feels unfamiliar, doesn't it? To walk without watching for danger, to breathe without waiting for betrayal. But this is what wholeness feels like. You've fought long enough. Heaven has declared rest over you. This rest is not laziness, it is restoration. It is the stillness after the storm, the calm that follows obedience. You are learning that rest is not the absence of responsibility, it's the presence of trust. You no longer need to prove your worth. Your existence already does that. The prophet David wrote in the book of Psalms, chapter 46, verse 10, "Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth." Those words are now your foundation. Stillness is not silence, it is sacred awareness. You no longer fight every battle that calls your name because you've realized not every noise deserves your attention. You've learned to recognize which storms require prayer and which only require peace. You've stopped running toward chaos disguised as purpose. You have mastered the art of divine stillness. Chosen one, this season is about stability. Your emotions are no longer swayed by the winds of circumstance. You found the anchor within you, the unshakable part of your soul that remains steady even when life bends and twists. That is the power of spiritual maturity. You have become the calm in every room you enter. Your presence carries quiet authority, and even those who once underestimated you now sense something different. You are walking proof that peace is power. You used to think power looked like control, loudness, or constant motion. But now you know true power is gentle. It doesn't shout, it stands. It doesn't push, it simply is. You are learning to lead through your stillness, to influence through example rather than explanation. Look back at the earlier chapters of your journey, you'll see how everything led to this. The battles taught you endurance. The isolation taught you discernment. The heartbreak taught you depth. Every lesson brought you to this quiet confidence. You are no longer seeking validation because you have become validation. The storm that once defined you has now refined you. Chosen one. Peace looks beautiful on you. It's the kind of beauty that can't be faked, the glow that only comes from surviving what others didn't see. You no longer crave attention because you understand alignment. You're not chasing applause, you're walking in assurance. That shift has changed everything: the way you speak, the way you love, the way you move. This peace is not fragile. It won't vanish with the next challenge because it's not situational, it's spiritual. You have built this peace on revelation, not on circumstance. It's the type of peace that allows you to rest even when the world shakes, to smile even when outcomes are uncertain. You've learned that peace isn't found by avoiding problems, but by anchoring yourself in purpose. You have become a living sanctuary. People will find comfort in your calm, not because you fix their problems, but because your presence reminds them that storms don't last forever. You carry evidence that survival is possible, that victory can be quiet, and that healing is holy. Chosen one, you're not the same person who entered the fire. The flame purified what fear built. Now you walk lighter, freer, wiser. You see beauty where you once saw brokenness. You thank God for endings that once felt like cruelty. That's transformation, seeing grace in what once looked like grief. From this peace, new vision will rise. Ideas will flow effortlessly. Relationships will form without force. Opportunities will come naturally, drawn by your authenticity. This is how heaven works. It multiplies peace before it multiplies provision. When your inner world aligns, your outer world follows. Chosen one, the world will notice your change, but they won't understand it. They'll ask what happened, but you won't have to explain. Peace doesn't need words. It testifies in silence. Your calm will preach louder than any sermon. Your life will teach that stability is the greatest evidence of spiritual strength. So breathe, rest, and remain. The war is behind you, the wisdom is within you, and the wonder is ahead of you. You are no longer a soldier in battle, you are a keeper of peace. The glory that now rests on you is not loud, it's luminous. Chosen one, this is what victory looks like: not noise, not attention, but stillness saturated with divine presence. You have become what the storm could not destroy: unshakable. Chosen one, you've reached the point where peace is no longer just survival, it's overflow. What once felt like struggle now feels like stillness, and that stillness carries glory. You are living proof that storms don't destroy the chosen, they refine them. Heaven has crowned your endurance, and even your silence now speaks with authority. You are no longer walking toward victory. You are walking in it. This is the hour of radiance, the moment when what was hidden in the dark begins to shine without effort. You don't have to announce yourself anymore. Your peace, your presence, and your posture speak for you. The light around you is not borrowed, it's your own, forged in the furnace of faith. The ancient words recorded in the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 14 declare, "You are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hidden." Chosen one, that is you, the city on the hill. You were never meant to blend in. You were always meant to blaze. But your light isn't loud, it's gentle, steady, and kind. It's the kind of light that doesn't blind. It guides. You are walking proof that humility and greatness can coexist, that quiet strength can move mountains. Now, as you carry that light forward, heaven invites you to become a keeper of the flame. The same way a candle shares its fire without losing it. You are called to pass this light on. When you like, it's not a tap, it's a spark, a small flame that tells heaven, "I'm here, and I still believe." When you share, imagine you are releasing lanterns into the night sky. Each share becomes a soft glow drifting outward, reaching another weary soul who forgot the stars still shine. You're not spreading content, you're spreading comfort. Every act of sharing becomes a whisper in the dark saying, You're not alone. There is still light. And when you subscribe, it isn't just about following a voice. It's about joining a current of truth that flows from heaven's river. You are stepping into a rhythm where reminders of purpose never stop reaching you. It's like anchoring your heart to a lighthouse that keeps shining even when the seas rage again. If your spirit ever feels stirred to give, don't think of it as a donation, think of it as pouring oil into a living lamp. Every drop keeps the flame from fading. Every act of generosity becomes oxygen to a fire that warms countless souls. You're not paying for words, you're sustaining a movement of light. And if you have nothing to give but your attention, that too is sacred. Listening is also giving. You have no idea how powerful your presence is when you show up fully. Heart open, spirit awake. It tells heaven that the message still matters, that light still has meaning. Chosen one. Giving in this space is not about obligation, it's about resonance. When something inside you whispers, "Yes, this speaks to me," that's the sound of your spirit aligning with truth. Every act that follows that whisper, whether it's a click, a word, a prayer, or a gift, becomes a ripple that travels far beyond you. You are part of something bigger than a video, bigger than a message. You are part of a divine constellation of souls waking up at the same time. Each of us is a spark, and together we make the sky bright again. Your engagement, your comment, your kindness, your generosity is not small. It's sacred. It's how heaven builds community from across distances. So, when you comment, let it come from the heart. Let it be more than text, let it be testimony. Write what you feel, not what you think sounds right. Your words might be the rope someone else holds onto tonight. Every comment becomes a ripple of light. Every honest word, another beam of faith sent out into the dark. Every comment you leave is a heartbeat in this circle of light. Each word becomes a small ember that warms another soul still wandering in the dark. You don't have to force anything. You don't have to give out of guilt or act out of pressure. Simply do what love leads you to do. Every act of genuine support, every like, share, subscription, or offering becomes a prayer in motion, a heartbeat of hope keeping the light alive. Chosen one, heaven doesn't measure the size of your gift, it measures the sincerity of your flame. Even a whisper of generosity is loud in eternity. You have already given much: your faith, your endurance, your light, and that alone is beautiful. But if your spirit ever says, "I want to add another spark," then follow it. Because light never diminishes; when shared, it multiplies. So like if the message resonates, share if it feels right, comment your truth, subscribe to keep walking with the light, and if you're moved, let your oil feed the flame. Not because you must, but because it's a beautiful thing when light meets gratitude. Chosen one, the battlefield is behind you now. The ground beneath your feet no longer shakes with the echo of conflict. What once was chaos has become calm, and you are walking through the ashes of what tried to consume you untouched, unburned, and beautifully transformed. The air carries no scent of smoke, only the fragrance of victory. You have crossed the fire, and instead of destruction, you found deliverance. It is a strange thing to survive the storm and realize that the storm was your teacher. Every gust of wind taught you strength. Every flash of lightning taught you clarity. And every wave that tried to drown you only revealed that you were capable of walking on water all along. What was meant to erase you instead awakened you. You are not who you were before the storm. The fire changed your composition. You have become something new, stronger, wiser, gentler, but unshakably firm. The same voice that once trembled with fear now speaks with faith. The same hands that once clung to survival now lift in gratitude. The battle didn't just end, it elevated you. We are reminded through the book of Isaiah, chapter 43, verse 2. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. The flames will not set you ablaze. Chosen one. That promise has been fulfilled in you. The flames that surrounded you were never meant to destroy you. They were meant to prove that you could not be consumed. What you walked through was purification, not punishment. You didn't just endure the trial, you embodied triumph. The fire refined you until only truth remained. Look at yourself now, calm where there used to be chaos, patient where there used to be panic. The same places that once triggered fear now trigger faith. That is what growth looks like. You no longer react, you respond. You no longer chase closure, you carry clarity. You've stopped asking, "Why me?" and started saying, "Thank you for trusting me." Chosen one. Glory follows those who stay faithful in the furnace. You carried your cross quietly, and heaven noticed. The fire that tested your limits also revealed your lineage. You are of the ones who rise from ruin, who wear ashes as crowns. The world sees only the glow, but heaven remembers the grit. Now, you walk with a confidence that doesn't boast, it breathes. The peace around you is not empty, it's earned. You learn the rhythm of resilience, the melody of mercy, the harmony of hope. Every scar now sings of survival. You have become a living psalm, a melody that darkness can no longer mute. There will still be challenges ahead, yes, but they won't shake you. You've already walked through worse and came out shining. The memory of old pain has turned into wisdom, and wisdom has become your shield. You won't fear the flame again because you now understand it. Fire that comes from God never harms. It hones. Chosen one. What once frightened you now fuels you. The rejection that once wounded you now reminds you that divine protection sometimes wears the disguise of denial. The loss that once broke your heart became the soil where new life began to grow. You can finally see how everything was connected, how even pain was purpose in costume. This peace is your reward, not for perfection but for perseverance. You kept walking when it would have been easier to quit. You kept believing when evidence said otherwise. You stayed kind when cruelty would have been justified. That is the mark of the chosen, the ability to hold light even when surrounded by darkness. Now, your victory is quiet but undeniable. It doesn't need to announce itself, it simply exists. You are a walking contradiction to what should have destroyed you. You are the evidence that endurance is holy. The glory after the battle is not always gold or applause, it is peace so deep it silences every past storm. Chosen one. Your steps are lighter because your burden has been burned away. The very fire that tried to consume you has purified your purpose. You walk through ashes, but your spirit leaves footprints of light wherever you go. The atmosphere shifts because victory is now your fragrance. The world won't always understand this version of you. They'll see the peace and assume you were never hurt, not realizing your calm was carved from chaos. But that's the beauty of it, you don't need them to understand. The proof is in your presence, the miracle in your movement. You survived the unspeakable, and now you carry the indescribable. The glory resting on you is the quiet kind, the kind that doesn't demand attention but draws it. The kind that whispers rather than shouts, that heals rather than hurries. Chosen one. Walk slowly now. You've earned the right to breathe deeply. You've crossed through the flames and found the other side. Nothing can return you to who you were before the fire. That version has fulfilled its purpose and faded into victory. Now, carry this truth within you. The glory after the battle is not something you reach, it's something you become. And you, chosen one, have become glory itself. Chosen one, this is the moment when heaven falls silent. Not because it has nothing left to say, but because the work is complete. The story that began in shadows now stands in the fullness of light. What once was anguish has become anthem. What once was broken now breathes beauty. The circle has closed, and the purpose that once hid behind pain has finally revealed its face. You can feel it in your spirit, the final exhale of completion. There is no more striving, no more searching, no more waiting for approval or explanation. You are whole. Every thread of your life, once tangled with confusion, now weaves perfectly through divine design. What was once chaos has become clarity. Every unanswered question has dissolved into peace. Every wound has turned into wisdom. As was spoken in the book of Revelation, chapter 21, verse 4, He will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain, for the old order of things has passed away. Chosen one, that verse is not only a promise for eternity, it is a reflection of what is happening inside you now. The old order, the sorrow, the striving, the fear has passed away. You are living in a new order, governed by peace, led by purpose, guarded by grace. The tears that once blurred your vision have been wiped by unseen hands, and now you see clearly, not through pain, but through promise. This is the peace that comes after the long night, the quiet sunrise that greets those who refuse to give up in the dark. Heaven has kept its word. Every loss has been transformed into light. Every heartbreak has become harvest. The storms that once terrified you now sound like lullabies, reminders of what you've overcome. Chosen one, your journey is no longer about survival, it is about significance. You have become a vessel of remembrance, a living reminder that faith is stronger than fear, that grace always finds its way back to the faithful. You carry the memory of what it means to endure and the responsibility of showing others what endurance looks like. But even in this victory, you remain humble. You understand now that greatness is not measured by crowns, but by compassion. You no longer chase thrones. You build altars. You no longer demand attention. You offer presence. The power that once frightened you has softened into wisdom, and that wisdom has made you radiant. The people around you may not know the full story, but they feel something when you enter the room. That's because peace has a presence. It lingers. It speaks without words. It comforts without touch. You are carrying the residue of heaven now, and the world can sense it. Chosen one, look at your hands. They once trembled with exhaustion. Now they build with purpose. Look at your heart. It once broke under pressure. Now it beats with resilience. Look at your path. It once curved through confusion. Now it stretches straight into destiny. Everything that was shattered has been remade, not as it was, but as it was always meant to be. This final season of your story is not about doing, it's about being. You are the testimony now. Your life preaches without words. The way you forgive, the way you love, the way you move through the world, all of it declares that God is faithful. You have become the message, not just the messenger. And now, heaven writes your name in the archives of overcomers. You are among those who did not faint, who trusted when sight failed, who carried faith through the fire and came out gold. The enemy's laughter has turned to silence, and heaven's applause fills the atmosphere around you. Chosen one. This is not an ending, it is a continuation into eternity. The story does not close, it expands. The light that began in your valley will travel through generations, igniting courage in hearts you may never meet. Your obedience has become a legacy, your faith a foundation for others to stand upon. So walk softly now, not because you are fragile, but because you are sacred. You carry glory in every step. The journey that began in hiddenness has ended in holiness. You have become the sound of victory, the quiet kind, the eternal kind. The enemy's tears have dried. Your wounds have healed, and heaven's song now carries your name in its melody. The reversal is complete. The trap backfired. The chosen has risen. And now, the earth itself bears witness. Every breath you take releases light. Every step echoes victory. You are eternity's reminder that faith always finishes undefeated. Chosen one. If these words found you, it was never by accident. Something within you has been waiting to be reminded that you are not forgotten, not overlooked, not forsaken. You are part of something bigger, a tapestry of hearts awakening together, thread by thread, moment by moment. The light that has filled you through this journey doesn't end here. It continues through you. When you think of it not as a click, but as a spark, your small flame joining thousands of others. It's how heaven knows you're still awake, still listening, still believing. Every like is a whisper that says, "The message reached me, and I carry the light forward." When you share, you are not promoting words, you're passing a torch. You're releasing a lantern into the vastness, guiding another weary soul back toward hope. Somewhere, someone needs to feel what you just felt. Your share could be the light that finds them in their midnight. When you subscribe, you're not signing up for content, you're joining a current of purpose. It's a river of reminders that flow at the right time, whispering to your spirit when the world grows loud. You become part of a circle of light, a living network of faith woven across distance and time. And if you ever feel led to give, let it come from joy, not pressure. Think of it as pouring oil into a lamp that still burns through the night. Every drop of generosity, no matter the size, keeps this flame alive for others who have not yet seen the dawn. You are not funding words, you are fueling warmth. You are. So if this light touched you, share to pass it on. Comment what you feel. Subscribe to walk with us, and give only if love leads you. Because the most beautiful giving is always voluntary and always divine.